Hello, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Immigration News. It's August 14th, 2025, and we've got several important updates you need to know about. This week, there are new rules that could affect green card eligibility for children, changes coming to the H-1B system, and a lawsuit that could decide the future of TPS for Venezuelans. We're also seeing local stories from schools in Los Angeles dealing with immigration enforcement concerns, to towns cancelling cultural festivals, and even plans for a new ICE detention center in Tennessee. Let's go through what's happening and what it means for you and your family. In this video, we're going to walk through the most important immigration updates breaking as of today. Not just what's happening, but what it means for your family, your status, and your future. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. In Tennessee, a small town named Mason has just made a decision that will ripple far beyond its borders. Local leaders approved plans to turn a shuttered prison into an IC detention center despite an outcry from residents and immigrant rights groups. The facility, which has a history of abuse allegations under previous operators, is being sold as an economic opportunity, a way to bring jobs and investment back to a struggling area. But for immigrant families, it represents something far darker. Another place where loved ones could be locked away, often far from legal help or community support. Under the Trump administration's renewed embrace of private prison contracts for immigration detention, facilities like this are re-emerging as tools of aggressive enforcement. Meanwhile, in Boston, Venezuelan civic groups have taken the fight to federal court, challenging the administration's move to terminate temporary protected status for Venezuelan nationals. TPS has been a lifeline for tens of thousands, shielding them from deportation to a country still facing political turmoil and economic collapse. Plaintiffs are calling the termination unlawful and cruel, warning that without protection, families could be separated and lives put at risk. This lawsuit is one of the first big legal tests against Trump-era immigration rollbacks in his second term, and the outcome could set the tone for other TPS-covered groups. On the West Coast, the start of the school year in Los Angeles isn't just about new notebooks and fresh backpacks. It's about fear. Parents are altering routines, some keeping their children home, worried about ICE presence near schools. The district has asked ICE to stay away from educational spaces, set up rapid response networks, and even adjusted bus routes. They've issued family preparedness packets in multiple languages and are offering remote learning options so children aren't forced to choose between safety and education. The anxiety is real. Just last week, a disabled student was mistakenly detained outside a high school, a chilling example of what can happen when enforcement actions and community life intersect. Further east, immigrant communities are losing more than safety. They're losing traditions. In Harrisonburg, Virginia, and other small towns, Latino cultural festivals are being cancelled outright. These festivals aren't just entertainment. They're celebrations of heritage and major drivers of local business. But organisers say the climate of fear is so intense that people simply won't show up. The absence of these events isn't just economic, it's emotional. It's one more reminder for immigrant families that the spaces where they can freely express their culture are shrinking. Perhaps the most technical but deeply personal policy shift this week comes from uscis. Starting August 15th, the agency will once again use the final action dates from the Visa Bulletin to calculate a child's age under the Child Status Protection Act. This might sound like a small bureaucratic tweak, but for families in long backlogs, it's devastating. Children of H-1B visa holders, along with those in family-based categories from high-demand countries like India and the Philippines, risk aging out, turning 21 before their green card is approved, and losing eligibility entirely. For many, this means starting their immigration journey from scratch, even if they've lived in the US most of their lives. And then there's the looming change to America's high-skilled work visa system. The White House has approved a plan to replace the random H-1B lottery with a wage-based allocation model. In simple terms, the higher the salary offered, the higher the chance of getting a visa. Proponents say it will attract the best and brightest while reducing fraud. Critics warn it will disadvantage younger workers, startups, and lower-paid but still highly skilled sectors like research or healthcare. For the tens of thousands of international students who rely on the lottery as their pathway to stay in the US, this change could upend carefully laid career plans. When you step back, these stories connect. They're about where we draw the line between opportunity and exclusion, between safety and fear, between a system that adapts and one that pushes people out. The detention center in Tennessee, the lawsuit in Boston, the school district in Los Angeles, the cancelled festivals, the CSPA rollback, the H-1B overhaul, they're all chapters in a larger story of how the US is redefining its relationship with immigrants in 2025. For some, these changes will feel like the ground shifting under their feet. For others, like the plaintiffs in the TPS lawsuit or the advocates fighting the CSPA policy change, it's a moment to push back. But for millions quietly navigating the process, checking the visa bulletin, waiting for NVC to review documents, watching processing timelines inch forward, the uncertainty is exhausting. The truth is, immigrant policy isn't just written in laws and memos. It's felt in classrooms, in town squares, in courtrooms, in detention centers, and in the daily decisions of families trying to plan a future. And while this week's updates bring more challenges than relief, each headline is also a call to stay informed, stay connected, and keep pushing for a system that honors both the law and the human lives it governs. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration Updates channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas, such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration News channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.